Let's talk about Ace Combat 8, the roadmap of Project Aces to 2025, the 25th anniversary of Ace Combat, and some more stuff in this interview that was done by our man Giuseppe Nelva from Twinfinite. He is, by the way, the best gaming journalist when it comes to Ace Combat. He is very far from your average 2019 gaming journalist, so highly recommend you guys give him a follow or read up on his stuff. It's really good and he's passionate about Ace Combat. I'll be reading most of the interview, but link will be in the description. And because he's such a good guy, I allow ads on this website, and I encourage you guys to do the same because, you know, ad block and that kind of stuff. But anyway, let's get started with his interview that was published today, September the 18th, just after the release of the DLC trailer with the release date. I suppose most of you already caught up with the DLC news, so we're gonna go into some of the more details. So he mentions that was when they released the information, and the Giuseppe, he was able to talk to Kono and Shimamoto there at Bandai in Tokyo. Good for him. So they talk about a little bit about the DLC. So is it part of the main campaign? It's kind of separate, but it takes place at the same time of the regular campaign. So they call it SP mission. But we don't know all the dates exactly when the missions are going to take place in universe. Then we get to the interesting portion. Giuseppe, I am guessing that now the sales numbers for the main game are in. Can we confidently say that the future of the Ace Combat franchise is secured? Then Kono says, I think we need a bit more time to say that confidently. Yet, Ace Combat 7 did become a major groundbreaking title, and it's a milestone for us. It took us 12 years to release a game after Ace Combat 6, and now we feel ready to think about what to do for this important franchise. Now, I don't have the information regarding how many units Ace Combat 7 sold, but I'm pretty confident it beat the record of Ace Combat 4, which was the best-selling game. But again, I don't have any official data to back this up. It's just a feeling. Okay, don't have the inside information. To Giuseppe, so we're not gonna have to wait another 12 years to get Ace Combat 8, right? Because Kono says maybe 10. Thanks, Kono. Yeah. And then Kono continues, right now we're having a heated discussion with producer Shimamoto. How we're going to make all these different types of gameplay available. Just for Ace Combat 7, we had to develop the offline version, the online version, and the VR version. The needs of the players are becoming more diversified. And it's important to remember that Project Aces is a relatively small team. The thing they mentioned in previous interviews, like the core teams, like 10 to 20 people. It's really small. But at least my feeling is that they're gonna make, as you're gonna see the article, I think it's not like the Ace Combat's gonna die, okay? That's pretty clear from the article. Continuing on, are there going to be new aircraft in the DLC or just new missions? So the aircraft already had before was the Falcon, the Morgan, and the Raven, and now we have the mission. So it's separate. We had that aircraft already. All right. And here we get interesting. So Giuseppe asks, in the past, Project Aces has worked on external IP. I really love the Skycrawlers, which by the way was back on Wii. The game was really good. It's just like playing on Wii kind of sucked because of the controllers. I did the gameplay of that game, playthrough, if you wanna check it out. But the game was really well done. It truly feels like an Ace Combat game. Just the Wii that sucks. What do you expect from a Wii game? You know? Looking at the future, do you expect to work only on Ace Combat, or there might be room for something else as well? So Shimamoto, which is the producer of the game, says Project Aces is not a big team. As a brand director, Kono mentioned the fans' needs are becoming more and more diversified, so our first priority is to meet their expectations. But before we do so, we shouldn't venture into anything else. Especially Skycrawlers, because Skycrawlers is propeller aircraft. They fly much slower, obviously. So it's very different. The mechanics, you know. And then Kono continues. We believe that our first mission is to evolve Ace Combat 7 into Ace Combat 8. And we need to take things one step higher. Right now, we're having a discussion about what other important elements we need to include in Ace Combat 8. I don't think we'll be working on another different IP like Skycrawlers, but I do think it's important to think what other measures are needed in order to capture the feel of propeller planes, for example. That's what Shimamoto-san tells me. But yeah, it's a very different mechanic. I would say maybe Skycrawler is going too far from what the core Ace Combat is, because it's like modern these days jets. Another possibility though could be Yukikaze. There was a Yukikaze game already covered in my channel, done a long time ago, early 2000s. The game was not that good. It was made by a different studio, but I'd say it's closer to Ace Combat when it comes to aircraft. And Bandai Visual made the anime, so it's easier. But it makes sense. They're trying to plan on safe, try to improve on Ace Combat 8 to make it like a regular game. I would say the single players is good, graphics good. I would just say the only thing that needs improvement is just the multiplayer, just adding some new modes to keep it going. Kind of follow like Infinity did, co-op, that was good. Continuing on, Shimamoto says that you make it sound like it's all my responsibility. Shimamoto is the young Kono, by the way, just so you guys know. So it is already decided that the last 3 DLCs, after the 3 DLCs, work on Ace Combat 7 will be concluded and you'll be moving on to 8. Then Kono says, this season will end with DLC number 6. Nothing else has been decided on how to continue after that. So I suppose they want to hear some more feedback after we finish the 3 missions, so they can think, okay, should we start already working on Ace Combat 8, or should we make like another season pass, another set of missions or aircraft? Right now, because the multiplayer of Ace Combat 7 is kind of dead, it's pretty dead, I would suppose it would be better to work on Ace Combat 8, but that's not regarding the DLC missions, because I haven't played them, of course. And also the time, how much time they can come up with new missions to make them. So it's a lot of inside information that I don't have, but I would vote on Ace Combat 8 so far without playing the missions. Maybe I'll change my mind after, but continuing on. And then Kono says, next year marks the 25th anniversary for the Ace Combat series. Our first priority is to do something memorable that can please our core fans for the anniversary. It's up to Shimamoto-san and Komatsu-san to make this anniversary successful and pleasing for our fans. It might be too early to, I mean, there might not be enough time to make another Ace Combat game like within 1 year. But what does that mean? You know what I mean? What are they preparing for the anniversary? And Shimamoto says, leave it to me. And Giuseppe says, you're not retiring, are you? To Kono. But Kono says, oh no, I'll be there to tell them what to do. Good. Kono, never leave us. Kono's too good for us, seriously. And Giuseppe continues, do you already have plans in place for the anniversary? And Kono says, yes, we're planning. And Giuseppe continues, of course, can't give me any detail. But Kono says, I think you'll be very surprised. And then Shimamoto just antagonizes us, like, really? Now you're just saying whatever you want. And then Kono continues, there are different degrees of surprise. One is extremely surprised, and the other one is so surprised. You know. Please stay tuned. So, new mystery, what's gonna be on the 25th anniversary? Think about it, guys. It's a quarter of a century for a video game. And not many games have had this long lineage. Think about it. A quarter of a century. Continuing on, Giuseppe asks if the story is self-contained. It's kinda self-contained, but it kinda integrates with the campaign. I suppose you guys already know that. And he continues, you said that every DLC missions has its own specific feature like ESM or electronic support measures and ECM, electronic counter measures. For the first, do they have a similar scope and influence on the gameplay? continues. Answers. They will take different forms, but they will all deeply impact the game. Each includes new rules, and we're expanding the player's freedom. We're purposely improving the ability of the players to freely maneuver. So I suppose we're gonna have some changes to the gameplay with these ESM and ECM. Giuseppe asked about the cutscenes, how's gonna be the storytelling for the missions, will there cutscenes, and will there have still the radio chatter? Yes, this combat has to have the radio chatter, so Kanye confirms that. And he says that the cutscenes will be portrayed from the perspective of characters that aren't necessarily characters acting a scene like in the main campaign. I think it has been made it clear now with the trailers. We're gonna see the perspective of David North. He's the Ocean analyst, like the Ocean CIA guy, who has that perspective in the cutscenes. It was very interesting on how they did it with the chess stuff. Just my opinion. Continuing on, Giuseppe asks, now that your work on Ace Combat 7 is nearly complete, how do you feel? Kono answers, I don't feel a sense of completion at all. I'm already thinking about what to do next year. Kono in a nutshell. I'm sorry about not being able to disclose all the things we're working on right now, but I think we have more work on my plate than ever before. Jesus Christ, Kono. Giuseppe, are you going to be able to rest? Kono says, I'm taking my weekends. It's a nice company to work for, especially in Japan. In Japan, people literally die of work. Don't die, Kono, please. We care about you. Please, okay. Rest. The team too, okay. Shimoto continuing. We have received so much great feedback from our users with Ace Combat 7, so we have to do more. We want to do more. I wish I could clone myself in order to get everything done. At the moment, we're prioritizing other projects that we would like to do. Well, I suppose that's why they haven't decided if they're gonna go for Ace Combat 8 or make other DLCs, because they want to get the feedback from the DLC missions. That's my theory. Not fact, theory. Continuing on, Kono says, just yesterday we have established a roadmap all the way to 2025. And Giuseppe says, so that's when Ace Combat 8 is coming out. And Kono shoots him down saying, can't say, nobody knows that. On the roadmap we mark the challenges we have to tackle. It's filled with circles representing challenges from 2019 to 2025. At least it's good to know they have a long-term plan. I don't know. Maybe they can even squeeze 2 games or more stuff. Though we have to see, because the next generation of consoles is coming out. I feel like with Infinity, they did at the very end of the PS3 generation. But then we have Ace Combat 7. It's kinda towards the end of the PS4 generation. So I'm not sure if they're gonna go for the next generation or continue on. Continuing on, Giuseppe says, I hear many asking if you could please sell the PS4 version of Ace Combat 5 separately. I know it was a pre-order bonus, but it has been quite some time and I'm sure there's a lot of demand for it. Yes, there's always demand. Kono says, unfortunately we're not able to sell that, it can only be a pre-order bonus. We often spend time talking about what we should do with those legendary titles like Ace Combat 4, 5, and 0. We know what our users want. The remaster, yes, of course, or remake, depends. Whenever I purpose something that I think would bring value for the veteran fans, Shimamoto-san says always no. And then Shimoto says, that's just because he comes up with unrealistic things. It would be very difficult to achieve everything he would want us to realize. And Kono continues, my job is to really make it into reality what our players want us to do. We're always trying to figure out a way to do so. I really hate the word contract. That's why we love Kono. Kono goes above and beyond, I'd say. It's because of Kono we got he intervened so we could get the collector's edition in North America. With the book, with the Aces at War. So Kono intervened. Kono Kono's the hero we don't deserve, but that is what we got. Thanks, Kono. For the record, I vote for a remake. That's what Giuseppe says. And Kono says, we often talk about remakes too. And Shimamoto says, yes, but who is going to actually make them? Do I need to split myself into 3? And Giuseppe then goes on to suggest there are some third-party developers who are very proficient in doing that sort of thing. And then they go into some more details about the studios, with the example of Crash Bandicoot, which I'm not really familiar with, so I'm not going to talk about it. But this interview highlights certain things. We don't know what's gonna happen after the DLCs for Ace Combat 7, after DLCs number 6. We're not sure if they're gonna work on Ace Combat 8 or make other DLCs. But the thought of Ace Combat 8 is already on their minds. And I don't know what's in the roadmap for Project Aces to 2025, but it exists. So it's a good idea for planning. So very interesting stuff. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I think it's already possible to entertain the thought of Ace Combat 8. Many possibilities there. For my quick overview, I think the story, the length, and how it's going, it's good. Keep doing it. Just I think a little bit more focus on the multiplayer aspect of the game, and possibly less focus on the VR, because VR would be just for the PS4, while multiplayer, it increases how much time you spend on the game, and it affects all the platforms, like Xbox, PC as well. So here's the interview. If you want to read it for yourself, link will be in the description. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.